Good evening, everybody. This is Derek with the Grumpy Guy Show for episode number 40, The Rotten Apple, recorded on February 28th, 2022. Tonight, Ryan is off, so I've got my friend Dave. We talk about some lock-in from Apple and paying college athletes. Stick around, it's a good show. Good evening, everybody. This is Derek McAllister with the Grumpy Guy Show. Tonight, Ryan's a little busy with schoolwork, which is a good thing. So I was able to convince a very old friend of mine to join me. Please welcome Dave Gower. How you doing, Dave?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. As best as I can, I guess. But Dave and I have known each other for quite some time. And recently we've actually been able to hang out a bit and get back together, and it's been great. And this is going to be a fun show. Hopefully I can find some time to throw some animations in. Anybody who watches the video will know that I've been doing that in the last couple of weeks. Just haven't been able to. Just time crunch with project at work and everything, but hopefully we'll get back into it.
Yeah, you find some good ones.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I really pushed us up with our record date, because we were recording on Tuesdays and now we're doing it Mondays, so that I got an extra day, so I'm still getting it out the door on Wednesdays. But luckily things have been speeding up with the laptop with updates that Garuda Linux has been putting out there, and getting the renders done a whole lot faster. So, one of our wonderful transitions right here, folks. What do you say we get to the first topic? So, we're going to start out, we'll start out with a topic that I have. This is, everybody knows, or most people know, that I'm not a huge fan of Apple. You know, their products, yes, they work and everything, but they get away with an awful lot that nobody else does. So, recently, I've decided that I want to get back into programming. My education is actually in programming. I have a bachelor's degree in computer science, and I haven't done a whole lot since. But I decided, I have a couple ideas for some apps, and I just want to put them out there, not looking to make money on them, just they're something for me, and I'll put them out. I'm going to take advantage of Android's open ability for you to be able to install a sideload, and I'm going to put them on a marketplace called F-Droid. Basically, one of the things that I want to do something that does not require any permissions, because I don't want your data. And, just make it so it doesn't have any ads, because, again, I'm not looking to make money. I might try and put one of those donate coffee thing out there, but yeah, we'll see. But anyhow, back to the story. So I've heard about Flutter. It's a tool from Google that's supposed to be very easy to program with and everything. So I've got to learn a lot, because the language Dart, which is used in Flutter, is much different than anything I've ever done. My last programming experience was with C# when I taught myself that back around 2000. So it's completely different. Dart is very much like Java or Kotlin, stuff like that. But I've been watching some videos. Now, one of the advantages of Flutter is that it's a write once, run anywhere. And when I say anywhere, I mean it will run on Linux, it will run on Windows, it'll run on Mac, it'll run on iPhone, and it'll run on Android. Obviously, you've got to compile them differently for each one, but it's write once and run anywhere. So it's a great idea, great concept. When I was watching one of these videos, this one guy, he put together a 37-hour course, which I'm baffled that it's free, but he put together a 37-hour course, and I started watching it, and one of the things that he said just killed me when it came to Apple. If you want to release something on the App Store, you have to compile it using a Mac. Nothing else. You can't use anything else. Obviously, you can probably use an iPad or whatever, but he said you have to use a Mac. And all I can think is, whoa, where's the EU that's going to sue these people? I mean, come on. You know, everybody's going after Google with all of their monopolistic moves, and here's Apple with another lock in. I
Yeah.
just,
And if you want to do it, you got to shell out bucks because they're nothing they have is cheap.
no, and that's the other thing. To be able to put stuff on the App Store, it's $100 per year to be a developer. I'm
Wow.
like, holy crap.
Is that at least for unlimited?
Uh, yeah, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure
I
you
mean,
get
it's still a lot, but
yeah you get to put as many apps out there as you want.
okay.
But just to be a developer, for them to even look at your app, $100 per year. I was like, jeez, that's just insane. You know,
Now,
and
will they pull your app if you don't pay it?
that
Like
I
if you
don't
pay
know.
it for 1 year and then the next year you decide not to pay that, I wonder if they pull your stuff.
That'd be something interesting. But I mean, for somebody like me who's not looking to charge and make any money off of it, I'm also not looking to lose money. I mean,
Right. You're already losing time making it free.
yeah, yeah, and I looked into Google Store too, and they have a fee, but it's a one-time $25 fee. So I'm thinking, maybe, it's possible, but $100 a year? It's no wonder these developers are complaining so much about Apple, losing money on the App Store. They got to pay $100 per year, and then on top of that, Apple will suck 30% off of any sales they take. It's just crazy. Yeah, I really don't understand what the deal is with that and why people are so jumping on it. I mean, you got so many companies, they release in Apple's App Store before they even think about building an Android app. And all I'm thinking is, that's insane. Why not go the cheap route first, make some money there, and then go? Especially when you look at the fact that iPhone is only the most popular phone in the United States. The rest of the world, Android blows it away.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's a reason that Samsung is the number one manufacturer of phones.
That's who I have.
you know, I mean, simply put, everybody walks around with Samsung. I mean, you talk to most people when you say Android, they say, "Well, I don't know what that is. I have a Samsung." That's Android, you know. But I don't know. I know you've done some development, so what's your thought on that, Dave?
Uh, just the thought of you having to purchase a machine that's, you know, like the base model of a Mac is what, like 1200, 1400.
Yeah, you get the low end. It's. I think they start at 1100.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That is crazy. So you're not just paying that $100 a year. You're shelling out over $1,000 just to be able to pay that $100.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's really crazy.
yeah. That's it exactly. I mean, they say it's an Apple tax, but that's just to me that's beyond just an Apple tax. That's insane. Because even when you look at it, I mean, that low end thing, it's not that great in specs.
No, it's their low end stuff is really not. I mean, they make great products,
Yeah,
but the price tag they put on them, you can get a comparable like HP.
yeah. Well, that's
And
that's what I'm running. I've got an HP Omen with a nice Ryzen 7 processor with an NVIDIA graphics card. I mean, it's basically a gaming laptop, and I paid, I think, $1,300 for it. But I don't know. I couldn't imagine spending $1,100 and getting something that's not nearly what this is.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I got an HP myself, and I got one of the ones with the AMOLED screens. You know, the like the highest tech screens because I do a lot of photo editing.
Right.
So I wanted something that could rival the Macs because that's their big bread and butter is graphics
Yeah.
and photo and so I can't knock them on that. They're definitely the best computers for that line of work.
Yeah. I agree.
And I am not in that line of work. I just do it for a hobby, and I'm not about to spend $3,000 on a Mac when
Yeah.
I can get something for 1,600 and Black Friday get it for 1,100 and have something that works just as well for me.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, unless you're doing, even if you're doing it professionally, there's people that can do amazing stuff with Windows PCs.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean,
You don't have to have a Mac.
no, some of the stuff my uncle has done, with his astrophotography and stuff. I mean, it's just amazing, and I know he's using a Windows PC.
Hmm.
You know, it, so it's they are good. They are known for you know photo editing,
Hmm.
but with more and more stuff moving to cloud based, I think they're going to lose their edge there.
They might.
It's I mean there's places because I was considering doing it like taking my old Get Off My Lawn blog and using that to put transcripts of the show on. But so I was looking, and you can upload video and transcribe it for free, but I don't know. I That's an awful lot to upload just to have to download
Right.
it all again.
Yep.
And a free service like that, I'm not sure I'd want to use anyhow. I'm not sure I trust them with my video and what they do with it afterwards.
Yeah.
So if I was going to do something like that, I'd pay, but still, I could pay and have it done rather than having to have a super powerful machine locally. And there's definitely video editing software that's available for pay or free that's cloud based, so that all you need is something that can handle a browser. I know that Adobe is actually moving that direction with a lot of their stuff.
Yeah, I have the Adobe Suite. I got the Creative Cloud.
Yeah,
It's pretty awesome.
yeah. I'm just getting into the photography stuff. You kind of some of your pictures kind of got the bug in me.
It's fun. I love editing. It's a blast.
Yeah, I'm not so much on the editing part. I kind of like
You
just getting there. I like the destination, take a couple of pictures, and
wait till you start getting creative, though.
yeah. Well, the first trip we did when I had the camera, we went down. There's a little place in the southern tier. It's Stony Brook Park,
Yeah, I
and
saw
it's
your pictures. They
yeah,
were good.
just a stream. And the only thing I didn't like about it then was that was the first one, and I didn't understand how the autofocus worked. And I still don't, which is a problem. Anytime I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I'll put it here and it'll focus on that, and it focuses on something else. And of course, I only need the glasses for up close, so I don't always have them with me. And manually focusing the camera without my glasses doesn't seem to work. And then when I do have them, it doesn't seem to work. So I got to play with that. But yeah, I'm really. Something just popped up in the window. I don't know what it was. Must be it's picking up the fan from the computer again. I don't know, but no, I'm all about free software, so I actually use Darktable for my editing.
Okay.
It's cross-platform, open source. A lot of people say that it does compete with Adobe software, but I don't know. But I'm also cheap, so
Yeah.
As anybody who's paid attention to this podcast would know, I'm cheap. I use Jitsi, which is free. I use Shotcut to do my editing, which is
You're
free.
frugal.
There you go.
You're only cheap if it's not quality.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, with Shotcut, when I first started doing video editing for my off-road rides, I searched and did a lot of searching, and it was very difficult to get started. But now that I'm started with it, it's very powerful and very flexible, and it just took a little bit of learning. And it's kind of the same thing with Darktable. But the nice thing is you can do a search on the internet and find just about anything.
Oh yeah. Any
And
kind of instructions or tutorials.
yeah, yeah. So, and you definitely find that more for open source software, at least I've found, than you do for closed source. But, yeah, whatever. All right. So we went off the tracks again. See, I dragged you right into that.
Don't get me started on photography. We'll never move on to something else.
Yeah, I'm afraid that'll end up happening to me. I went down to visit my uncle last summer, and I asked him if he was still doing his astrophotography because he's got some medical issues. And he said, "No, are you interested in the thing?" I can't afford that. So I know he's got a pretty expensive setup.
Yeah, most setups are expensive with the DSLRs.
Yeah, he's got something. I mean, he actually went to the point where in his deck, he actually cut something and put it so that it wouldn't shake when somebody walked across the deck. It doesn't shake his tripod or anything. And I don't know. I'm just like, oh,
No, I'm not there yet.
yeah. I don't know that I will ever be there.
But I can see you needing that for astrophotography.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's
definitely.
that's why you can't have any kind of vibration at all, or your picture's ruined.
Yeah, yeah. And you've seen some of his pictures. I mean,
Yeah,
they're just
they're
gorgeous.
awesome.
But all right. So transition number 2. So that was unfortunately the only topic that I brought to the game this week. But Dave brought a couple of really good ones. So I'll let you introduce the first one.
All right. First one would be this whole idea that's been floated around for, I don't know, a couple of years at least. The idea that college athletes should be paid.
Oof.
And, there's a lot of people pounding the table that it's not right for the colleges to make all this money off them and them not to get paid. My first thought with that is they are getting paid. They're getting a free education. And if you're talking a place like Duke, that's, with room and board, 70 or 80 grand a year. I mean,
Plus
that's more than
travel.
a lot of us make, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And they're getting a Duke education, which they're going to make a whole lot more than that, whether they're a pro athlete or they go into the private sector. That's going to go with them. That degree that they were paid to get by having a free scholarship ride, that should be payment enough. Now, if you're talking where you have like EA Sports creating the college football video game, if you think that the players should get paid for their likeness, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
EA is making money off their face. So I'm okay if you're saying no, EA needs to pay them. Yes. The school does not need to pay them anymore.
Yeah.
That person chose to go to that school because that school said, we're going to give you a free ride.
Yep.
No one forced them to go to that school. They went to that school because it was a free ride. Now, there's no way. I mean, I don't, definitely weigh in on this, but I think that's pretty ridiculous.
Oh, it's completely ridiculous. I mean, you look at any of these private schools, which is where most people want to go when they're going for athletics. I mean, you're talking Duke, SU, Boston College. I mean, these are private schools. Yeah, they're making millions of dollars off of these athletes, but they're also paying these athletes. Like you said, I mean, these schools they're upwards of $100,000 a year, and
Yeah,
these
after
athletes
books and
pay
just food and all that stuff. Yeah.
they pay nothing, and they get to travel the world. I mean, how is that not paying them?
Hmm.
That's just nuts. And it's not like, I mean, if they get injured, okay, well, they get first class treatment. Plain and simple, first class treatment without a dime coming out of their pocket.
Free operation, free physical therapy.
Yeah. It's I just I the first time I had ever heard of this, I was like, "What?" So somebody who's going to school to actually get an education to go in to do a real job has to pay we have to pay through the nose to go there and get that. And then these kids that are going to play a game
Hmm.
are going to get paid? No.
Yeah.
I say if they don't like it, they can go to school for something other than being an athlete.
Exactly. Exactly. Nobody is forcing them to do this.
Yeah. I just,
Period.
uh,
If they don't like it, join the military.
there you go.
See how much you like that over getting
Yeah.
free room and board and a free education and a good job afterwards. Go risk your life.
Yep.
Now who's complaining?
Yeah, but none of them will look at it like that.
No, of course not.
And of course, if something were to ever happen where these young kids couldn't go and play sports, they had to go into the military. Whoa. These schools would start paying, I can't even remember the term for it, but basically paying a proxy, you know? Go back to the old days of the Civil War where you could pay a proxy to go for you. I don't know. I really don't get the concept of that. It blows my mind away that it's even been brought up. The worst part is these schools are supposed to be nonprofit.
Yeah.
I mean, a nonprofit organization should not be able to pay a coach $3 or $4 million a year.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's like you have schools like ECPI that are for profit. The schools that are just we're going to get you in and in 13 months you get out with a degree. But yeah, these schools aren't supposed to, be raking people over for the cash. But like you said, they got coaches that are multimillionaires. They have chancellors. They have deans. Like all these people are making so much money, and that's why the tuition is so expensive
Yeah,
to pay these people. And they're trying to say that they're doing the best. So I get that the argument against the schools is, oh, they're greedy. They're already rich and this and that. But to me, that's just not a valid argument. It is an argument. It is a problem,
right.
but it should have nothing to do with giving money back to these kids who, like you said, play a game. I understand uh, athletics on any level is stressful, and in college, I imagine it's really stressful because you've got the whole student body rooting for you and looking at you, and you got these high high priced people looking at you saying you need to perform. We're giving you a free scholarship. So there's no doubt there's stress. There's no doubt in my mind. But again, you volunteered for that stress. That's
Yep.
that's what you went in for.
Yeah. And that's what so many people fail to look at it like they aren't looking at it as this is a voluntary thing. A friend of ours, Rich Robinson, his son had baseball scholarships lined up, and he said, "Nope, I don't want to be a baseball player." And I mean, he was throwing like a 90-mile-an-hour fastball,
Yeah.
and he said, "No, that was his choice."
Hmm. Yeah, he went to Alabama, I think.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's where he decided on going.
yep. And he made that choice, gave up all that money.
Yep.
So he can do it. Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
It's just they get addicted to the game, and I don't know. It's ridiculous. I may have actually complained about that on my blog at one point. And I know I've complained about it quite a bit because it's just insane.
It is.
Things are just courtside seats. Like $100. Ooh, why?
Oh no. We got something going on here right now. Coach K's last game
Oh yeah,
against UNC because he's stepping down after this year.
right.
Tickets are getting scalped for like over $1,000 to go to this college basketball game just because it's Coach K's last rivalry game.
Yeah,
So people just scoop them tickets up and just and I hate that. That was actually one of my topics maybe for another day, but scalpers and stuff just drive me insane, man. I'm telling you, I can't stand the fact that there's no limit on the amount of tickets you can buy, and if you get there, you can just go nuts
yeah,
if you've got that kind of money, and then it hurts the fans where like the dad wants to take their son or their daughter, you know,
yeah,
just to the game, just for like that moment with your kids, and oh no, it's $500
yeah,
per person. Yeah,
yeah,
come on, kid, we'll go get some cotton candy somewhere else.
yeah. There was a while that I was going to the SU spring game. That's where it's basically just practice with offense against defense and whatnot. But they open
Hmm.
it up for anybody to go in, and
NC State does that too.
I used to take the kids just because, I mean, they weren't huge on sports at all, but they liked going just because it was something different. But I just wasn't gonna pay to go to one of the games. I mean, nosebleed section in the dome is, I think they're like $35 or $40.
Hmm.
And you look at you're there looking, and the people are like this tall.
Yeah, you better bring some binoculars,
Yeah, I mean the
or
people are.
just you're watching it on the screen, and then you can be watching it at home on the screen.
Yeah, because by the time you buy the tickets, then you pay for parking, and then you go and you fight the crowds to get there. And then of course you're there, so the kid wants something to drink and something to snack on. So you're up over $100.
Easily.
And I'm just like, no. So we'd go to the spring game because it was free and they had a good time. And of course, there wasn't a whole lot of people there. So, you know, the mascot comes around and the kids can get their picture taken with him much easier than during a game. So they had a good time. But yeah, I can't imagine these people who buy these season tickets and everything. And, more than likely, knowing that Coach K was going to retire soon, these scalpers have been, they'd buy up the last ticket
Yeah. They had it on their
2 years
calendar
ago.
of when it went on sale. Yeah,
Yeah,
as soon as those tickets went on sale.
yeah.
Yep.
Because I know, so last weekend, or yeah, Saturday, SU played Duke up here. And Thursday night, the news went out and they were talking to students camping out at the Dome just to be able to get in. And I'm like, really? Because it was, I think the lows Thursday night were in the teens, and they're
It's a
intense.
little excessive.
Yeah, I'm like, it's just not worth it. I just don't get that. But all right, folks, we had another topic, but yeah, we're right out there, so you probably heard the music starting up. Dave, I really do appreciate you joining me. It was a lot of fun.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
And yeah, I've told you before, it's an open invitation. You got time, just let me know.
Yeah, we'll do.
So I hope I didn't scare you away.
No, it's been fun. Appreciate it.
All right, folks, we'll see ya.
Have a good night.